The playground was a battlefield, and Aisha stood alone in the crossfire. Her heart pounded like a drum as three girls loomed over her, their sneers sharp enough to cut through the warm September air. The tallest one, Kayla, grabbed the collar of Aisha's favorite blue jacket, yanking it so hard the stitching groaned. Aisha's breath caught, but her eyes burned with something fiercer than fear. What she did next would echo through the school, the town, and far beyond, shocking everyone who thought they knew her. Aisha was 12, a quiet girl with skin like polished ebony and a smile that could light up a room, though she rarely let it. She'd moved to this small town 6 months ago, her family trading the hustle of the city for a chance at a quieter life. But quiet didn't mean easy. At Jefferson Middle School, Aisha was the new girl, the black girl, the one who didn't quite fit into the cliques that had formed long before she arrived. Her braided hair, her soft accent, even the way she carried herself, head high, shoulders back, seemed to draw attention she didn't ask for. Kayla, the ringleader, was everything Aisha wasn't: loud, popular, and fearless in the way only someone who'd never been an outsider could be. With her two sidekicks, Mia and Lauren, Kayla ruled the 7th grade social scene. They'd targeted Aisha from the start, snide comments in the hallway, giggles behind her back, a stolen lunch here, a tripped foot there. Aisha had tried to ignore it, to focus on her books and her dreams of becoming a writer, but the weight of their cruelty was starting to crack her carefully built armor. That day on the playground, it wasn't just about the jacket. It was about every whispered insult, every smirk, every moment Aisha had swallowed her hurt to keep the peace. Kayla's grip tightened, and Aisha felt the fabric strain against her neck. "What's this, huh?" Kayla taunted, her voice dripping with mockery. "You think you're too good for us, city girl?" Mia and Lauren laughed, their eyes darting around to make sure the other kids were watching. A crowd was forming, a ring of curious faces, some nervous, some eager for drama. Aisha's hands trembled, but she didn't pull away. She could feel the heat rising in her chest, a mix of fear and something else, something bold and unfamiliar. Her mom's words echoed in her mind. "You don't have to fight to win, Aisha. You just have to stand." But standing felt impossible when every eye was on her, when the air buzzed with the anticipation of her defeat. The first challenge was the weight of expectation. Aisha knew what everyone thought. She was the quiet one, the one who'd shrink, who'd cry, who'd run to a teacher. She'd seen it in their eyes every time she walked away from Kayla's taunts. But running wasn't an option now. Not with Kayla's hand on her collar. Not with the crowd waiting for her to break. Aisha's mind raced. She could push back, scream, fight, but that's what they wanted, wasn't it? To see her lose control, to prove she was the stereotype they'd painted her to be. Instead, Aisha did something no one expected. She looked Kayla dead in the eyes and spoke, her voice steady despite the tremor in her hands. "You don't know me," she said, loud enough for the crowd to hear. "You don't know what I'm capable of." The words hung in the air, heavy and electric. Kayla's smirk faltered, just for a second, and Aisha saw it, the first crack in her armor. That moment shifted something in Aisha. She didn't yank her collar free or shove Kayla away. Instead, she reached up, gently but firmly, and uncurled Kayla's fingers from her jacket. The crowd gasped, a ripple of surprise spreading through them. Kayla's face flushed red, caught off guard. Aisha didn't stop there. She took a step closer, her voice dropping to a calm, deliberate tone. "You think this makes you strong? Hurting me? It doesn't. It just makes you scared." The words hit like a stone through glass. Kayla stepped back, her confidence crumbling. Mia and Lauren exchanged nervous glances, their laughter gone. The crowd was silent now, the air thick with tension. Aisha didn't know where her courage was coming from, but it felt like a river breaking through a dam. She turned to the crowd, her eyes sweeping over the faces of her classmates. "I'm not here to fight," she said. "But I'm not here to be your punching bag either." The second challenge was the aftermath. By the next day, the story of Aisha's stand had spread like wildfire. Some kids whispered about her in awe, others in resentment. Teachers pulled her aside, asking questions she didn't want to answer. The principal called a meeting, and Aisha found herself sitting across from Kayla, Mia, and Lauren, their parents glaring or apologizing, depending on their mood. Aisha's mom, a nurse who worked long shifts, sat beside her, her hand warm and steady on Aisha's shoulder. The meeting was tense. Kayla's mom insisted it was just kids being kids, while Aisha's mom countered with a quiet fury that made the room feel smaller. "My daughter deserves to feel safe," she said. "She shouldn't have to prove she's strong to survive this school." Aisha felt a lump in her throat, not from fear but from the weight of her mom's love, the kind that fought battles even when exhausted. The principal suspended Kayla for a week, but Aisha knew that wouldn't fix things. Suspensions didn't change hearts. The real challenge was what came next, going back to school, walking the same halls, facing the same eyes. Some kids started treating her differently, with a cautious respect. Others, loyal to Kayla, doubled down, whispering "snitch" when she passed. Aisha felt caught between pride and loneliness, wondering if standing up had been worth it. Then came the third challenge, finding her place. Aisha had always been good at fading into the background, but now she couldn't. People noticed her, teachers, classmates, even the shy boy in math class, Jamal, who started sitting next to her at lunch. He didn't say much, but his quiet presence felt like a shield. One day, he slid a notebook across the table. "You're always writing," he said. "What's it about?" Aisha hesitated. She'd never shared her stories, not with anyone but her mom. But something about Jamal's earnest eyes made her open the notebook. Inside were pages of poetry, stories of girls who turned pain into power, of worlds where courage was currency. Jamal read a page, his face lighting up. "This is good," he said. "You should show people." That small moment sparked something. Aisha started sharing her writing, first with Jamal, then with a teacher who encouraged her to join the school's literary club. The club was a mix of misfits, kids who didn't fit the mold, who found solace in words. For the first time, Aisha felt like she belonged. But belonging didn't erase the past. Kayla returned from suspension, quieter but still sharp-edged, and Aisha braced herself for round 2. The final challenge came unexpectedly. The school announced a talent show, and the literary club decided to perform a spoken-word piece. Aisha's poem, "Roots and Wings," was chosen as the centerpiece. It was about her journey, her family's move, her struggles, her refusal to break. Writing it had been cathartic, but performing it? That felt like stepping into a lion's den. The night of the talent show, the auditorium was packed. Aisha's hands shook as she waited backstage, her poem memorized but heavy on her tongue. She peeked through the curtain and saw Kayla in the audience, arms crossed, watching. Aisha's stomach twisted, but she thought of her mom, working a double shift but promising to watch the live stream. She thought of Jamal, who'd helped her rehearse. She thought of every kid who'd ever felt small, invisible, or afraid. When her turn came, Aisha stepped onto the stage, the spotlight blinding. She took a breath and began. Her voice, soft at first, grew stronger with each line. "I am roots, deep and unyielding, grown from struggle, fed by love. I am wings, rising above the hands that try to hold me down." The words poured out, raw and real, weaving her pain into something beautiful. The audience was silent, then erupted into applause. Even Kayla's face softened, just for a moment. After the show, kids she'd never spoken to came up to her, sharing their own stories of being bullied, of feeling out of place. Aisha realized her words had done more than defy Kayla, they'd built a bridge. Over the next few weeks, she noticed small changes. Kayla stopped targeting her, not out of friendship, but out of something like respect. The whispers in the halls faded. Aisha's notebook filled with new stories, each one a step toward healing. By the end of the school year, Aisha wasn't just the new girl anymore. She was the girl who'd stood up, who'd spoken out, who'd turned her pain into poetry. Her mom framed the poem from the talent show, hanging it in their living room. "You're my hero," she told Aisha, her eyes shining. Aisha smiled, feeling the weight of those words settle into her bones. The inspiring message was clear. Courage isn't always loud or violent. Sometimes it's a steady voice, a gentle hand, a refusal to let others define you. Aisha learned that standing up doesn't mean you stop being afraid. It means you act despite the fear. And in doing so, you can change not just your own story, but the stories of those around you.